I am Denis Kyetere, the Executive Director, AATF. Commercialization of innovations in simple terms is a process by which agricultural innovations and products are introduced to the market for use by farmers to improve their livelihoods. At AATF, we build commercialization considerations right way from constraint identification, then scouting and licensing the technologies that are involved in solving this constraint, then into product development and later use by farmers. And all along, we build a strong ecosystem of capable retail partners who ensure that these agricultural technologies are widely distributed. Plant variety protection, which is also known as plant breeders' rights, is an exclusive form of intellectual property right granted to the breeder of the new variety of plants. Thus, it gives the owner of the registered intellectual property right to exploit it in form of sale, of licensing, or any other commercialization, and thus gets a competitive advantage in the commercial activities. So it is very critical to have an effective system of plant variety protection that encourages development of new varieties of plants that contribute to the livelihoods of the breeders and the farmers themselves. Thus, plant variety protection can help in the agricultural transformation and commercialization, and then help improve livelihoods and income. An enabling policy and the regulatory environment is a prerequisite to unlock the agricultural sectors to boost growth, nutrition security, and reduce poverty in Africa. African governments and regional economic communities should develop an enabling environment that is science-based and best of practices to enable commercialization of agricultural innovations. When it comes to some of the innovations like the GM technology, Africa is characterized by a mosaic of policy positions that range from being permissive to precautionary and prohibitive, which again we need to look at in order to promote the use of these GM technologies in Africa by being favorable and being permissive. First of all, a number of these agricultural technologies can be used in a number of these agroecological zones across a number of countries. But the lack of harmonized regulations across the countries do prohibit their entry, or takes longer to have them adopted in other countries. Thus, regional bodies are best placed to establish harmonized regulations that can help testing, registration, and release of these varieties so that they can reach a wider community than being restricted in one area. Secondly, Pan-African bodies like CEMESA can help to establish regulations that can eliminate barriers that hinder movement of agro-inputs and agricultural produce across member states. This is a greater effort that can help contribute to new initiatives such as the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, so that farmers can access wider markets on the continent of Africa. AATF has partnered with regional economic communities, with governments, the ministries, departments and agencies to support in the development of regulations that assist in the uptake and adoption of these technologies. This has been done by identification and the validation of policy gaps, prioritizing policy actions, and then development of regulations and standard operating procedures that can help avoid these bottlenecks in the policy. AATF is also leading efforts through OFAB to foster dialogue between policymakers, civil society, farmers, processors, and all kinds of players in the country to have a better understanding of the biotech and the use of biotech crops in promoting agricultural innovations and productions on the continent.